Hello. So welcome. I am doing a live tarot reading for the week of January 28th, which is today, to February 3rd. So I've decided to start my weeks from Monday until the weekend because I always feel like the weekend energy is so similar. So I've already done the reading here. So I'm just going to talk about that just because for time for me, honestly. It's quite an interesting week. To me, I don't know if I'm seeing my own reading, but I definitely asked for everybody else. And of course, you guys are going to be going through similar things that I'm going through. It's not necessarily going to look the same way, but it's going to, of course, there's a collective essence that we're all sort of experiencing. Ooh, all right. And so that was just the last card that I wanted to see. But the interesting thing is that this seems to be a very specific reading that came through for me. So I'm kind of like, whatever it feels to you, just kind of go with it and just see what it feels to you. I definitely recognize that this is going to have a different energy for the people who identify with the feminine versus those who identify with being more masculine, men and women, masculine, feminine. It's definitely going to, I think, be different because I'm getting very different energies from both of you. So I am just going to go ahead and read it. Oh crap, I don't have my glasses on. I'm just trying to read this book real quick just to see the very last card that I pulled. Okay. So I did what I've been doing. I did the beginning of the week, the middle of the week, and the end of the week. I'm just going to get right to it. So the first card that we pulled is the Nine of Pentacles. Every time I pull this card, it's got a very like Miss Independent kind of vibe to it, right? So and I also, for a clarifying card, pulled the Moon card, but let's just look at this card. Do you see it? It is also just a single woman tapping into her power, tuning into the moon, her feminine energy, right? So the beginning of the week, today and tomorrow, a little bit into Wednesday, is definitely going to be, for the feminine, it's definitely going to be you guys getting, just really loving yourselves. It's going to all be about self-love. You're going to be focusing on your own independent self. Maybe something, it's really funny because there's something kind of going on with me as far as like relationships, like a male that's in my life that has kind of like pulled away, and I don't feel any need to chase at all. I feel very much like, okay, I'm just going to continue to, if you can see this, it's a picture of a woman just surrounded by fruits and golds and her familiars. And she's really just like, she's robed in this beautiful, robe, and she's surrounded by abundance. So that's really how I feel that for myself, that I'm like, okay, I'm okay with, like, you can pull back. That's fine. So if you're feeling like maybe the masculine pulled back from you as well, I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to do me, and I'm really feeling like that you guys, that for the feminine here, it's really the beginning of the week it's funny too, because it's Monday is Moon Day. So Monday's ruled by the moon, and we pulled the Moon card, and it's just about tuning into your feminine, divine feminine power. And, so what that's going to look like practically is you guys are going to be maybe decorating your homes, getting your home in order, cleaning it in a way that looks really beautiful to you. Maybe you're going to be finding a new home or a new space or a workspace. Maybe you're just going to be kind of getting things in order, making them look beautiful. Focusing on your passions, it's really just about like self-love. You're going to be getting your ducks in a row as far as when you ask yourself the question, how can I design my life in the way I desire for it to be designed? And that's really what you're focusing on. You're really focusing on loving being solo. And it's totally fine. It's totally good. It's all good in the hood. But the very interesting part that comes in, of course, that energy is so attractive. That kind of independent woman, I mean, genuinely independent woman. Like, I'm just taking a stroll through my garden and enjoying life. Like, I'm really just enjoying life on my own. That energy is so attractive that you guys have this little Knight of Swords, that the way this is showing up here is like this. So you've got this Knight of Swords just swooping in, trying to save the day, right? And so what's happening is mid through the week, you're going to become so insane. You're just like, I'm just good. I'm good. I'm like loving being solo, living my life like it's golden, right? And feeling myself. I'm feeling myself, right? You're just like in that zone that somebody, whether it is a suitor, a male suitor, now this is where the male energy is going to come in. So if you identify with the male, this could be you. Now, of course, if that says something else to you, if this is speaking to you in a different way, of course, follow your own intuition. But this could be the male energy. He's swooping in, trying to be your knight in shining armor. He is not thinking. He is just swooping right in. He don't even really know what he's doing. For a clarifying card, we pulled the Seven of Swords, which can be kind of like deceitful, dishonest. He's just swooping in, trying to be the knight in shining armor because somebody told him he's supposed to swoop in and be the knight in shining armor. And it's not really, I don't want to say it's not genuine, but you're so over here like, I'm not even asking for this. I don't need this. And this could also be, I just want to point out to people, it doesn't have to necessarily be a male and a female or masculine and feminine. This could also be a job. This could be some things, just like opportunities. People are kind of swarming you, right? It's almost like you being so chill and so in your zone, it makes somebody around you want to chase you. It makes somebody around you kind of nervous. It makes somebody around you want that energy as well. And as I'm speaking, I'm not quite pinpointing the exact thing I'm trying to say here, but I trust that it will come to me. And I pulled a bunch of cards here, but so for the weekend, we pulled the Hanged Man with the Six of Cups. So what I'm kind of seeing here is the Hanged Man is all about like a few things, right? But I always see a real shift, like a complete like 180 in your perspective. The Hanged Man is hanging upside down. So the Hanged Man sees the world way different than he once saw the world when he was standing right side up. So there was a time when you thought, this is what's coming to me, is there was a time when you thought the world being right side up was you being a damsel in distress and your knight in shining armor coming in, swooping in to save the day. But the knight in shining armor ain't been around. He ain't been around, right? At some point, and I pulled these clarifying cards for a connection between these two. I kind of asked, like, what's the connection here? I pulled the Ten of Swords. That means this is a past heartbreak. There's something that was going on with your past that kind of created this situation now. And we've got it from the Emperor as well. The Emperor is the clarifying card. So there was strong male energy that broke your heart. Now, if this is the masculine that's watching this, then you are the strong male energy that broke her heart or broke the feminine energy's heart. Again, I'm not talking male, female. It could be female, female if you identify with feminine and, you know, vice versa. But if you identify with the masculines have broken her heart. And she saw you as a king. She saw you as a king. And you broke her heart. I mean, you put 10 swords in her back. 10 motherfucking swords in her back. But you know what she did? She went, I have no choice but to love myself. I have no choice but to tap into my own divine feminine. And now she's like, okay, you go. I'm good. I'm good. I'm building my own. I'm building my own. But you, the masculine, is still stuck in this old pattern of swooping in, being that knight in shining armor, which is all based on really just bullshit. I mean, it's what it's based on. The masculine was really, and I'm really talking about men now, because it's just, these are actual male roles in the 3D realm that we've been trained to believe. The male and female roles is that as females, we're supposed to be damsel in distress, and the men are supposed to be the knight in shining armor. They swoop in, they say anything they need to say to sweep you off your feet, kind of an energy, right? And you're just like, what? Why are you here? Like, I don't need you. And you're not saying it in a mean way. You're not just like, I'm an independent woman, I don't need you no more. No, you're just like, I don't need saving. I saved myself. It's great. It's really awesome. Things are awesome, you know? And so this knight in shining armor. Now, again, I'm telling you, this is super specific right now. And I understand that a lot of people are probably not going to maybe connect with this necessarily, but this could also be a job that you think is going to save you. This could also be something you once thought was going to save you from maybe old heartbreak. Maybe it was an old thought process that brought you to past heartbreak, that made you think, I need a savior outside of myself to help me. And then you just got to the point where you're like, ain't nobody coming. I'm just going to go frolic in my garden and tend to my garden and make my life beautiful for myself. And I'm not waiting anymore. You know, I'm not waiting around for my knight in shining armor, whatever that may be. I'm not waiting for my savior, no more. But there's still some part of you, the feminine, because if you didn't believe this, still, that there's some part of you that still believes you need that knight in shining armor, that savior. If you didn't believe it, it wouldn't happen, right? So some sort of a savior is coming through, but you're not actually in alignment with it. So it's going to actually be a beautiful thing for you to see. It's kind of like, I say this often, it's kind of like when you grow out of your old friends and you think about how much fun it used to be in high school, and you're like, oh, so much fun, so much fun. And then you go back and you see your friends from high school and you realize how much you do not connect with them whatsoever, like how much you've grown out of them. And you're just like, oh no, this is not in alignment. Like, this is so not in alignment. And I'm kind of feeling like that's going to give you your shift in perspective about, because the Six of Cups is about nostalgia. It's about the past. It's about childhood, you know, and things like that. And so you're going to have a shift in your mindset, whether it's shifting your mindset about, oh, I used to really think that I was a damsel in distress and I needed my knight in shining armor. And now, like, I'm realizing that I don't need that. Like, I just don't want that anymore. Right? And then the two connecting between this kind of knight in shining armor energy and your shift in perspective for the weekend, we pulled the Sun card, which is like new beginnings. Imagine when the morning comes, it's a new beginning, right? When the sun starts to shine. And then we pulled, this is the Six of Swords, which, I mean, this is pretty plain as day. It talks about just walking away. And I'm just feeling like, I think I sung this on a past video, but it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, and I'm feeling good. Yeah, but there's definitely, and I also feel like because we didn't pull too many major arcana, actually we did pull some major arcanas, okay. Because at first we didn't pull too many major arcanas, and I was like, okay. So what I'm kind of feeling is it's not going to be like a major week. We're on a waning moon. There's nothing crazy happening in the astrologically, at least to my knowledge. Let me know if I'm wrong. The new moon is happening after this week. It's also the Lunar New Year. So that's where things are going to shift and change. But the small shifts that are going to occur this week are going to be kind of like the last little bits of major things that did occur in your past. So they will come, you will have some shifts about some major stuff. And the thing is, when you change your mind about the past, it changes your mind about the now so drastically, you know? And then the other card that we pulled, this is kind of just like a last and final, is the Page of Swords. So again, I don't feel like this is really a major, major week, but I do feel like you're starting to get your mind right. You're starting to get your mind clear. Things are really just going. And I don't think that this is going to be a major, major thing for you this week. I know I think people always make fun of like astrology and tarot readings and all that because they make everything like it's a huge deal. Like this week is the biggest, this hasn't happened in 20, 30 years, you know. I don't like doing that because there's so many times where things aren't that big. You know what I mean? There's so many times where like we are kind of getting like a little bit of a lull, I feel like this week. Slight little bit of a lull. Like I don't think nothing major. I don't see anything major. The only thing major that's going to happen is this weekend you will have that shift in perception, but that's kind of like in between all the major things that occur are these small shifts of magic, right? These tiny little shifts. And so enjoy that. Enjoy those tiny little shifts. Enjoy those little shifts in perspective. Tiny little miracles is what, A Course in Miracles would say. So just enjoy and understand that like life as it is can be magical. Like that's the idea of practical magic. It's making the everyday sort of what some could see as mundane or monotonous, make it feel magical, and that's what every single day should be. So for some reason, I said that. I definitely feel like the beginning of the week, we're kicking things off with that, really just creating magic in every aspect of your life. All right, guys. So there is this week's reading. It is the week of January 28th, today, Monday, to Sunday, February 3rd. All right. I hope you enjoy your week. Let me know if you connected with this. Definitely let me know come back towards the end of the week and let me know if any of these things or how these things have shown up in your own life. That's always fun to see. All right, guys, I love you much. I love how it kicks me off right at the end. Oh, much love to you, Baba. But I will see you guys Wednesday for Witch Baby Wednesdays. All right, guys, goodbye for real this time.